Did it run in your bloodline? Don't you think it should be the same for alcoholism and drug addiction? Or to open up to share with them?
Yeah. So I have a 10-year-old, and he's curious like any 10-year-old, and he saw a kid vaping, and he said, "Dad, I want to do that." And I said, "That is a form of smoking."
Right.
But they dressed it up and made it an electronic cigarette, made a new taste to it. I said, but it's nicotine. It's addictive. You will spend your money, your time, and your life will begin to change.
Right.
It's the start. We call it a gateway drug, right?
Drug.
So he said, well, I think I'll smoke one with just water in it. I said, it won't be no fun. It won't keep you coming back.
Right.
Because nicotine raises your dopamine, makes you feel some pleasure, you smoke again. So I think children you want to get to them quickly and give them options. You want to expose them to as much as you can positively so that they don't think that they have to choose cigarettes and alcohol. Because once they get started with that, it opens the door for the brain to say, wow, this feels better than a candy bar.
Right.
This feels better than Coca-Cola.
That's good.
And all of a sudden, they say, well, what else is out there? So I believe in trying to expose him to just about everything, travel, all that, so that his options to want to follow the crowd, because peer support, I mean not peer support, but peer influence is going to hit him soon. And he's going to say, well, they doing, let me try. But if he's got all those experiences and exposures, he may say, you know what, I done this, I done that, I don't need to do that.
Right.
I don't need to do that.
I never thought I remember my first cigarette in my backyard when my brother Ernie, he gave me a cigarette. Next thing you know, I'm up at my school before school started. About like 20 of us passing around joints. And it's a progression. It just didn't come out of nowhere. You know?
So I think it's like a twofold thing. One, I believe that if you have children, because I have two, I have one that's 10 and I have one that's 17 years old. And I believe, one, you have to keep the lines of communication open to your child to allow them to be able to ask you any questions.
Right.
We didn't have that when we were growing up. You see what I'm saying? It was more or less you're seen and not heard. You can't ask questions. I allow my children to ask anything they need to ask. My life is an open book. I share with them my struggles.
Powerful.
Because the reality is my struggles is who made me who I am today. Right. You see what I'm saying? And the second thing is, my daughter's 17 years old. She's in that, she tried smoking marijuana. And we found out about it because the marijuana today, you can smell it all over their body.
Right.
So as soon as I found out, I didn't do like what maybe most parents would do because I understand. I didn't, what are you doing? What's your problem? What I said was, I said, look, I know that something's going on. I said, but what you have to understand is, I'm pretty sure that there was a time in your life that you said I would never smoke marijuana. Now the time came that you did smoke marijuana. Now what you have to understand, and you said, what do you tell them? I told them, you have to look out for certain things. Remember, I said, remember when you first took the hit?
Right.
How did it make you feel? And she told me. I said, now how long does it take you to make you feel that way? How many hits is it taking it now? And she told me, I said, that's the progression of the disease. You need to understand that first hit that you was chasing, you will never get it again.
That's right.
And it's going to take more. And then I just let her know, look, one thing that I understand, team, is that children are going to do what they're going to do regardless. I'm here where she can't do it in my house, and I'm not giving her the okay to do it, but I do understand it's coming from somewhere. So now what we made a decision to do, because I'm a recovering addict, I understand that she needs help.
That's
So
right.
and I'm not saying something up negative, but what African American families don't do, they don't go seek outside help because it's a form of being powerless. You know what I mean? That you're not strong if you don't go get help. So what I'm so
from us.
From ourselves. So what I'm doing what other people do, Caucasians and everybody else. I'm taking her so she can go talk about her issues. Because the reality, when I said in the beginning, if you don't get to the core of your problem, you're going to continue on using drugs. Drugs is only a symptom of my problem.
That's
it's
right.
something that occurred to make me need to use
Come
drugs.
on.
So that's what we're doing right now, Vernon. We taking her to see a therapist.
Yeah.
Right.
And so she can, because she's not going to talk to us about our problem.
Uh-huh.
She can talk to the therapist and prayerfully. And that's another thing. You gotta pray,
Right.
because you can't just go through this thing. We talk about a lot of stuff, but trust and believe God is first.
It's
But
always,
God
always.
is first, and I pray in everything that I do. So those things are important, man. You got to keep a line of communication open, and then once you find out, you can't beat them up with it.
That's right.
You got to try to help them. Our main concern is getting to the solution. Don't stay stuck in the problem, and that's what I try to do.
And I remember, I'm gonna get right with you, Eddie. And I remember when you taught me how to play baseball when I was young, and I got real good at it. I mean, all-star team, traveling team, and you get up to high school, and then you find yourself, you know, not going to that college that you wanted to go for. Then you just see the dream close off, and then I had resentments. You know, I had resentments. That's when it kind of sped up for me. And I was like, all these double headers in the hot sun, coaches talking to you all types of way, and here this thing over with, man. Nah, man, I'm gonna go hustle for my cousin. And it kind of sped up. Come on, E.
Like when it's different areas right now, okay, than the time. I'm 63. I just had a birthday, 63. I just
Oh,
turned
man.
63.
That's
I ain't thought I was gonna live this long though, but anyway. It's different time in our lives now with the children. See,
Yeah.
Back in the day when I came in, you had Alateen, Al-Anon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But back then, you, like my brother was saying, you didn't have the tools back then. You know, it just come to surface then. A lot of times you gotta go hand in hand on your kids, cause they didn't know what they were dealing with, and you didn't know what you were dealing with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like
right.
the birds and the bees. You just didn't. You know, my parents didn't know, they didn't know. You know, like I said, through my experience, thank God that he guided me into the 12-step program. See, that's where I learned all what I know about this disease and myself. That's the only way, you know. Like my friend Ed was saying, you know, you can go many different things to stay sober. But for me, this 12-step program has given me not only a new life, it has given me a new way to live. See, my thinking what got me in this, and my thinking is what gonna get me out of this. But without God in this 12-step program, like I said, there wouldn't be no me. You know, it ain't what you know. It's what you do, what you get. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot, but living is my problem. I'm learning how to live, man, all over again. Being responsible, being the father.
Yeah.
See, I ain't know nothing about, I ain't had no father. I know nothing about that. How you gonna give away something you don't have? You tell me that. Explain that. If you don't love yourself, bro, you can't love anybody. You can't get around that. You got to learn to love yourself first.
I just want to ask y'all a question. Share with some of the viewers, you know, from your experiences, how does this disease impact on lives, spiritually, mentally? You said threefold: physically, your health, you know, social, economically, financially. You know, share with some of the viewers, you know, how serious this disease is. These diseases are.
So,
The damage, the impact.
yeah. I think it impacts every aspect of your life.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's spiritually, it becomes like a god to you. I mean, physically, it takes its toll on your health. Mentally, I mean, just about most people that I treat with drug addiction got a mental disorder. 85% of them. Got a substance, got a mental disorder.
I got one,
You know what I'm saying?
One too.
Yeah. I mean, economically,
Yeah, I got one.
right? It takes up your money. I mean, every dimension of your
I'll be
life
honest
is
here.
impacted by it, because at one point you had control over, but now it has control over you.
Right.
And so, I mean, I watch it play out, and here's another devastating thing I see. Sometimes people are in recovery, they go back out and they use, and they come back, and they are worse.
It get worse.
They don't think the same. Their physical makeup is a mess. They don't walk the same. They're like a totally new person after going back out. And it's like the drugs just say, what in the world you was trying to do, trying to recover, and just beat them up so bad when they come back.
And I sat in some of your classes, Elder Joe. You hit some serious things on health. How does it affect your health? You hit some things with liver and brain.
Yeah.
Touch on that.